it's not rocket science, but then it is.
It is.
Yes, it depends on where. Yes, but then there's so many organizations that exist. There's so many interventions. There's several solutions. Like, what do you think, especially given that your own organization is focused on just really invest in the leadership of people? Why is this not happening? Like, why are people not just embracing this approach in addressing the issues facing our world? And how do we inspire? Like, we've talked here about donors and metrics and fund, we've heard it from different spaces. How do we inspire donors and funders to fund differently in a way that helps to invest in people and in leadership development?
I have this cruel joke that I divide philanthropists in two groups: the ones who just started and the ones who are disappointed, right? And I think part of it is because I think people underappreciate the complexity of the problems they are trying to tackle. So you made money doing something. You spent like 24 hours of your day invested. You brought the best possible people to work with you. You dedicated yourself for decades. And then you became extremely wealthy, and now you're able to give money away. And then you say, I'm going to invest like an hour every 2 months. I'm going to get like a little bit of people, maybe, someone who retired from HR and, a colleague of my daughter, and they're going to run my foundation. And we are going to solve world hunger, right? Yes. And then we take a look, and then hunger doesn't disappear in 2 years. And you say, yeah, it's impossible. Like these NGO people, they are incompetent, and governments, they are like always on strike and they don't like to work. So let's shift our strategy. Yeah, now we're going to, and that doesn't work. I know it's surprising. Yeah. It's, you see the chain of events and you get this crazy result that it doesn't work. So my sense is that we need to get people to understand the complexity of the issue, yes. Right? I think Barack Obama said, hope is not a strategy, right? And I think there are lots of people hoping for a lot of things. But if you really want to make a difference, you're going to invest and you're going to think about it and you're going to sustain it for 10 years and you're going to like surround yourself by the best possible people and you're going to pay well and you're going to like really do this and you can do it. Like it is possible to do it. We are seeing this. Like we have been investing in, I think the first leadership programs we started supporting were like in 2006 at the foundation. So 18 years ago. Like it works, but you need to be sustaining this. You have to, I think everything is measurable. I don't think it's unmeasurable. It is measurable. There were good examples here on how you can measure that. We try to look at like, the diversity of the people in leadership positions in the country as a proxy, what's being expected of leaders. I think there's lots of work we can do around policy. We should be discussing, parity in positions of power. Brazil just approved a law, for example, of 30% of leadership positions in Brazil are now in government, are reserved for black people. It's 56% of the population in Brazil. We're only talking about 30% of the positions, but it's a step in the right direction. You have countries and companies talking about the diversity in their boards. Like, what are the key policies that we should be fighting for? Why are we fighting for policies in many other areas and we're not discussing these are policies we need to approve and we need to put in place? And then how we're preparing. Like policies generate demand, right? And so now you need demand to train more people to achieve these positions, and then you have to fund those programs. So I think the main motivation for people should be, this is what gives you a chance of succeeding. And there is this other saying, I'm using lots of sayings today, sorry. It's like nothing succeeds like success. So the idea of if you can do this in a small, if you can see it in a small cohort, like you're investing in the right people and you're seeing the difference that they make, then you'll probably be inspired by thinking about how you take this to your other levels. And So there are good organizations doing this. I mean, we have, the inspiration of Teach for All doing this all over the world. We have here organizations in Brazil doing this. Motriz is here. They do a program training young people to serve in government. And then they help governments to think really how they are selecting their best people, how they are training their leaders, how they're ensuring like mid-level managers, all these people that Jaime just described. We have the Lemon Center for Equity in Sobral. They are also here. They are training like the school principals. Now they are training mayors, like how we're going to get the mayors to have the right kind of mindset around education, prioritizing education, many other organizations, I'm sure. So I think we need to gather these people together, start to create like what we agree on are the key policies, what are the key metrics, but that shouldn't be an excuse not to do it. We won't be successful unless we really prioritize this issue, and I think if we do, it will work, and that's what we need to do.
Thank you so much for that brilliant submission, Dennis.